Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news out of the US as MLS Commissioner Don Garber has long been wanting to prove the MLS can be a top league, and with the pestering of US men's national team coach Jurgen Klinsmann saying that the MLS is far from European caliber, Don Garber decided to make a huge move and expand his league into English football, making Football League One available to MLS teams. This move will be made at the start of the 15-16 season. It was announced during the All-Star Conference in Colorado before the All-Star game that will be taking place in July. His goal is to basically prove that an MLS team can work its way through England and prove that they can win the Champions League within 10 years. All League One teams that are currently in England will be moved down to League Two, and League Two will obviously move down to the fourth tier of English football. So the final four spots that will be making up Europe are going to be given to the top four teams outside of the American teams that are in the CONCACAF Champions League, which are Querétaro, Club America, Tigre, and Santos Laguna. And like I said, the move will be made in the start of the 15-16 season. They will be taking the League One position and will be involved in all tournaments that England is involved in. So this is a huge move. Don Garber has made a major statement here saying that his MLS teams can compete with anyone in the world and is going to try to show it within the next 10 years in England by buying out this league and competing on the international stage. So big move. We'll see how everything works out, and this is major news. Make sure you guys stay tuned to this story. So obviously guys, this is going to be our new series here on the channel. I did say that I was going to start up some more series coming this week. This first one is going to be an MLS series. This is going to take place in a alternate universe, basically, where Don Garber has decided to move his 20 MLS sides to the English League, where they're going to be taking the third tier division in England in the Football League One, and trying to work their way through the league. And we're going to take control of the Seattle Sounders, one of my favorite teams in the league. I love a lot of the players. Obviously, Dempsey, being Captain America that he is going to be the major one for us. So this is going to be a fun series, to say the least. I'm going to show you guys a squad report of who we have right now. My idea is to basically grow the team with American and Canadian, really just North American players, bringing in, the occasional big name star. We're never going to, we're going to try to avoid the youth stars again in this series like we are in some of our other series. So we want to make sure we're building from our youth academy the most, and also making sure that the players we're bringing in are either American talents in real life or youth academy talents that we're going to be bringing through. So this is going to be a fun challenge for us, to say the least. Obviously, this entire league, like I said, is the 20 teams from MLS and 4 teams that were in the CONCACAF Champions League quarterfinal stage. There were 4 more teams, so it worked out perfectly for me that I just went ahead and threw them into the squad. All the rosters are updated as of the February transfer window, so there have been moves here and there. You guys are going to be seeing who I'm going after here. Joshua Gatt, one of the fastest players in the U.S. men's national team, I guess academy you could say, because he hasn't really had many starting opportunities yet, but he's definitely a player for the future for the U.S. So want to make sure we're bringing him in. We're going to bring in Payne at left back, because we do have an international left back right now, and I do want to try to make the squad as American as possible. Other players that we'll be going after, I'm going to be trying to go after Julian Green from Bayern. We're actually going to try to sign him on a 2-year loan for $2 million future fee, and Bayern actually ends up accepting this after thinking about it for a little bit, so that's an awesome move. This kid right here, Heinemann, we tried to pull him away from Fulham. No matter what I did, you guys are going to see all these offers were coming in from all these different teams, and I believe he ends up actually going to Wigan Athletics. So Obviously, in the next year or so, we're definitely going to be trying to go after these players again, whoever we don't end up getting, and you guys will see who we end up actually picking up and who we don't. But we want to try to progress this team as much as possible while trying to keep the American roots within the league and within the squad. So this is definitely going to be a fun series. Obviously, the main goal is to work our way into Europe and try to win the Champions League. We try to go after John Brooks here. Not really entirely sure why I thought I was going to be able to get him. He's an expensive player, and I don't have the budget for it right now. He's definitely a player that I'll be looking at in the future for sure, because he's one of the best center backs, obviously, for the U.S. men's national team, and definitely the best young talent right now for the men's national team. So it's definitely going to be interesting. We're also going after Miazga, I want to say is how you pronounce his name. I've never been able to pronounce it correctly. Obviously, just transferred to Chelsea. We are going to try to loan him out from Chelsea because he's obviously not going to be getting into the first team this season. So I wanted to go ahead and bring him in, try to bring him in for a 2-year loan so he could help the squad out for us until we had either brought in Brooks or brought in a player through our youth academy to play center back. So they'll definitely strengthen the squad for us. Joshua Gatt, I'm very interested in bringing in, especially alongside Julian Green. Having those two as my alternating right mids will be incredible for me. DeSevio Payne is he's an all-around good left back. He's not top tier. He's just a solid young 19-year-old that I definitely wanted to bring into the squad. So the first game in the preseason cup that we did enter, we actually end up losing 1-0, as you guys are going to see here shortly. So obviously I want to try to get at least a little bit more of a transfer budget. My idea for this was to at least make it to the semifinal. So we do end up losing this game, but I definitely wanted to play the other games to try to make sure that we actually got into the semifinal. And then I think we end up getting that far, and then I think I simulate the actual semifinal, so you guys will see that here shortly as well. Just talking about the league a little bit, like I said, the 4 teams that we're bringing in from Mexico are honestly arguably better than the 20 MLS sides, at least star rating wise and everything like that, and their transfer budget is actually bigger, so fighting with them is also going to be a challenge. I wanted to bring them in so that we could keep it as a kind of American side coming into England, not just North American, but also that Central America, Mexico region. Wanted to go ahead and bring them into the series as well. So they're definitely going to be a challenge for us. Every team in the MLS is going to be a challenge, in all honesty. Seattle Sounders is a team that I've been following for a while. Obviously a very strong team with Dempsey and Martins, obviously one of the fastest players in the game. One of my favorite players to watch in the MLS. In this game, we do come up against AZ. I didn't really want to show you guys all the highlights from this game because there wasn't much to show, so I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys the goals in this episode because I know the preseason tournaments really aren't that fun to watch, so just wanted to get the goals in for you guys, like I said, and just kind of progress with the series. Go ahead and get all of this done in the first episode, so the next episode we could just hop straight into the actual season and start working on progressing through this as fast as possible. So it's definitely going to be a fun series. You guys are going to see the starting lineup that I do end up with at the end of this episode before we go into the league. Our goals for this season, I think the board wants us to get automatic promotion. I honestly think we can win the league, get automatic promotion, and at least win one of the cups, whether it's the FA Cup or the Capital One Cup. I think we can get either one of those, and if we could, that would be great, because then we could have European football next season, which will be difficult. It's honestly, I'm kind of hesitant about doing it because when you play in the championship, there's a lot of games to already be played, plus the cup games, and then add EuroLeague on top of that. It might actually end up hindering us, but I think we can get the squad depth to actually do it. So we end up coming out of that game with a 2-0 victory. Like I said, I wanted to play the games to try to win and try to progress in the league. In our group is also Bournemouth, which is the main reason why I actually picked this cup, is because I wanted to play English sides in preseason to kind of gauge where we were as a team. So Joshua Gatt's transfer ends up going through, and then we have to just get him to sign the contract, which is always, the easy part. Same with DeSevio Payne. Both players, definitely, they're not too attached to the country that they're playing in or anything like that, so they should be pretty easy to sign on contracts. We do pick up our first scout here. He is from Finland, 5-star judgment, 3-star experience. I was thinking the judgment, it should be fine. He won't find amazing players every time, but he'll definitely find good players throughout. So we're going to go ahead and send him to the US. The next scout that we get, which we're not going to sign here because I'm still looking to figure out which one I do want to bring in. We're going to put him probably in Canada, and then the other one, I haven't decided where I'm going to put him. I might put him in Mexico. I may put him somewhere else. I haven't really decided what I wanted to do, or if I'll just stick with 2 scouts and try to focus on that. So we'll definitely see how our youth squad starts building. If I ever bring in players from the outside, it'll be like the MLS format where you just bring 1 or 2 big name stars, maybe towards the end of their career, or maybe, if I can get into the Premier League, I'm definitely going to aim for players that are in their prime. But 8 minutes into this game against Bournemouth, our right back Mears actually managed to grab a goal. He is officially playing in England again. He is an English right back that made a move out to the Sounders, I want to say last year. Solid little right back. Definitely want to be looking for another right back in the future, though. Maybe Yedlin after he's done with his loan. I may be trying to go after him. You never know. So we'll see how things go there. We managed to grab a second goal 10 minutes later from Farfan. Just a lovely cross in the box from, I want to say Julian Green, actually. I might be wrong in that, but he ends up crossing the ball into the box. Farfan grabs the goal, and then Martins just blasting his way down the sideline, cuts into the box, and ends up getting tackled. Penalty for us, and we are going to go up 3-0 in this game against Bournemouth. So to put a performance like this against a Premier League side, regardless of the quality of this Premier League side, is definitely good. It means we're definitely a strong team and a force to be reckoned with in this series. So obviously this season may actually end up being more difficult than when we move into the championship, depending on what teams are in the championship next year. So the main reason I wanted to do League One was because League Two sides were definitely worse off than the MLS, and then League One sides were a little worse off, so I just wanted to move them down and kind of put the MLS in that spot. And then that away, in the next couple seasons, you'll see these MLS teams kind of scattered throughout England, hopefully in League Two, League One, Championship, and the Premier League. So it should definitely be interesting. We go ahead and get some training in on Julian Green. He's going to be my main focus for training until we bring in some youth squad players. The transfer was accepted for Heinemann from Fulham, but they ended up selling him off to Wigan, like I said earlier on in the episode. So we're going to have to officially buy him from Wigan later on in the series. In the semifinal, we do come up against this team. I thought if I simulated it, it would be fine. I might actually end up being able to win the game, and then we could go on and play in the final, but it didn't end up turning out that way. We ended up conceding another goal in the 79th minute and losing out on that game. So we do officially sign DeSevio Payne. Like I said, just good players that we're bringing into the squad. I'm very excited for the players that we have, especially Julian Green. Obviously, he's going to be growing a lot, and then to only have to pay $2 million for him 2 years from now is going to be fantastic, because by then, hopefully, we should be in the Premier League, at least in my eyes. I think I can win the league this season and next season, maybe win the league, but definitely get automatic promotion or play in the playoffs. So we should be in the Premier League in the next 2 years in my eyes, and then we'll get into the actual challenges. But once we get that Premier League paycheck, we'll definitely be able to pay for Julian Green's contract. So like I said, I am going to show you guys what lineup we're going to go into the season with. Dempsey's going to be playing up top with Martins at left wing and Julian Green at right wing. We're going to have our left mid play in the center mid position, because he doesn't have that much pace, and I think he'll actually play really well in the center mid. Farfen's also going to be there with Alonso in center defensive mid. Payne is going to be playing on the left, while Mears is playing on the right for our backs. And our center backs are going to be Miazga and Marshall, and then our keeper, I always forget his name, but that is going to be our squad officially for the league. And if you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you are excited for the season, let me know. And until the next episode, I'll see you guys later.